All right. So go ahead and state your name.
My name is Savannah.
Okay.
And student at Shemeketa.
Okay. And so, what's your opinion on the prevalence of domestic violence within gay and lesbian relationships?
If they can't get along, don't be together. You know? It's just like any relationship. If you don't get along, don't be together.
What are your thoughts on the statistics that only 11% of the 64% of domestic violence cases reported are from lesbian couples?
That's like asking me the ratio of a divorce rate for the men under the age of 21 years old is at 95%. It's a variation.
Okay. So where do you stand on homosexual relationships?
I'm one myself, so I love it.
Okay then. Well, thanks for the interview. Okay, go ahead and state your name.
My name is Marcus Cotton.
Okay, and you're an employee here at Shemeketa Community College?
I do work at the Shemeketa convenience store, yeah.
Okay. So what is your opinion on the fact that of 64% of domestic violence cases, only 11% of that 64% is lesbian domestic violence? And why do you think it's only that small amount reported?
The percentage reflect that because of this small, maybe is it a smaller population maybe than the overall? Yeah, I'm assuming the other percent is heterosexual.
Yeah, 64% is homosexual, and only 11% of that is lesbian.
It seems like maybe is it a smaller community? That's why I would think that there may be less lesbians than the other two categories combined.
Okay. What is your stand on homosexual and lesbian relationships?
I think it's fine. I don't think it's anybody's business for those people who are in those relationships. I mean, I don't think it's a government issue. I think it's a social issue.
Okay. And what do you think that any laws or the current laws should be changed to better suit domestic violence for both homosexual and heterosexual relationships?
Better suit them?
Yes.
As in stronger punishment or? Stronger
punishment or stricter guidelines that they have to follow.
I think that there should be stricter guidelines and definitely stricter punishment. I mean, violence is one of the worst crimes. I would think so, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, go ahead and state your name.
My name is Jane Endicott.
Okay. And so you're a Shemeketa student?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what is your opinion on the statistic that 64% of all domestic violence cases are in homosexual relationships?
Really? I'm surprised to hear that. Having been in a domestic violence relationship before, and I'm straight, that's sad to hear that. I think that it's important no matter what, what your sexual thing is, if you're gay or lesbian or homosexual, I'm sorry.
It's okay. No. Why do you think only 11% of that 64% is lesbian relationships, domestic violence is reported?
In lesbian relationships?
Yes.
I don't know, because women are so nonviolent. So maybe they just, the whole domestic violence thing is there's a mentality going on, there's a manipulation and, things to do with, this is not my fault, it's your fault, and that kind of thing. So, I would assume that it would be the same as any domestic violence relationship, which would be, they're just too afraid to report for one reason or another, or they have nowhere else to go, isolation, fear, and...
Do you think that there should be more or better laws in place to help people who are in a homosexual relationship that suffer from domestic violence?
Absolutely. I would hope that they were the same laws as for a straight couple.
They're actually, in some states they are, but in a lot of them they're not.
They're not? Well, I think that's wrong. I mean, just like I disagree with gay marriage being illegal, I think it should be legal, and I think that the laws should be the same. They're people just the same, and, you know, if they're getting physically or mentally abused, it should be, they should get the same amount of help as anybody else.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, go ahead and state your names.
My name is Stephen Fincham. I go by Andy.
And I'm Melissa McManus.
Okay. And you work here at Chemeketa, Andy,
Correct.
And Melissa, you are a student? Okay. So what is your standpoint on domestic violence as a whole to begin with?
I'm not a fan. Normally, when I find anybody who is in the middle of any domestic violence or confrontations of the sort, my goal is normally to resolve it and help the female, because normally they're on the right side, or at least making the most sense.
That's not always the case.
Oh, agreeably.
I've seen it the other way. I've seen it where when I was in a domestic violence situation, the state nothing did anything to protect me at all. And then when my brother was in an incident with a woman actually being the abuser, the state put him in jail.
Okay. So
I think it's really messed up. I don't think that it's got a good balance yet, but I think that they're working to try and improve it.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Of the domestic violence cases that are reported, 64% of them are homosexual, and only 11% of those are lesbian. What is your viewpoint? What is your standpoint on the or opinion on the fact that only 11% of the 64% is reported?
Of course, there's always worries of people looking down upon other people's personal preferences, in this case, homosexuality. What's the best way to word this? Thoughts, I have them.
I honestly think a person's personal choice and their choice of lifestyle is their own, and it shouldn't make a difference whether they're husband and husband or wife and wife. It's their choice, it's their preference, you know, who cares? You know, and they're people too, you know, and they deserve the same rights as everybody else, male or female.
Equally.
No matter if they're in the typical male and female relationship or lesbian or homosexual, it doesn't matter to me.
To each their own, of course.
Okay.
Before the next question, I have a return question. Is it the domestic violence between the couple or between the couple and a third party?
Couple.
Okay, so it is just directly to the couple.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what's your standpoint on homosexual and gay relationships? I mean, I figured you already answered this,
right.
through the interview, but I'd like to get your actual opinion on record.
Teach their own, and I encourage it at a full cost.
I think that you can't help who you fall in love with, whether it be the same sex or not.
Right. It's. I know several people have agreed that it's based on personal preference, and other people have argued that it is who they are, and that is still to each their own.
Whatever the cause is that's none of my business.
Ironically, my sister's a lesbian. It's all good.
My uncle's homosexual.
Right.
I love them the same, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I gotta think of do you think that the current laws should be changed or become more strict in regards to domestic violence, and whether or not there should be special addendums to those laws for homosexual domestic violence?
I think the laws are too specific to the normality. Domestic violence is still one person abusing another, no matter their preferences, no matter their relationship statuses, no matter what. It's just, if a person abuses somebody else, the aggressor should be punished equally.
I agree. I think it all comes down to aggressor, and I also see that, the cops are trying to resolve the situation, but they don't always know exactly what happened with the he said, she said, or whatever the case may be. They have to try and make a determination call, and sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. They're human. They make mistakes too,
There is human, right.
Yeah, and I think honestly that it shouldn't be a different statute of rules or anything based on your sexual preference
That
or
should
your
have nothing to do with
sexuality.
it. It's still a person abusing another person for whatever
Agreed.
reason they think is right, which normally abuse isn't right.
Based on your answers, why do you think that most states, about, I think it's 45 of them, do not uphold domestic violence laws for homosexual and lesbian couples?
That's wrong. In my
That
opinion,
they-
Closed-minded, old-world-based Republican people.
hey, I'm a Republican.
I'm never saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying it's a good generalization.
I'm a Republican.
Okay.
I just not the typical Republican.
Closed-minded, old-world people that are too stuck in the rut that they have created for themselves to see the rest of the horizon, as broad as it is.
I think abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter on your sexuality.
Okay. Well, thanks for the interview.
No problem.
All right, you guys have a good day.
You too.
Likewise.